Hello to the podcast of South Asia Times by Neeraj Nanda from Melbourne, Australia. Today, I will discuss the topic of the recent left-wing victory in the parliamentary elections in Sri Lanka. Before this, the NPP had won the presidency. President Anura was the victor, and now the NPP has won two-thirds majority in the Sri Lankan Parliament. This has happened for the first time. Never before in the history of Sri Lanka, any political party or group has ever won a two-thirds majority in the parliament. So, the most important thing being that this is a clear mandate to the NPP. And we should not forget that the main political constituent of the NPP is the JVP, the strongest leftist party in Sri Lanka. In the past, the JVP had been involved in two failed armed rebellions to take power in Sri Lanka, which did not succeed, leading to the deaths of thousands of young people who were supporting the JVP. So now the question is, what happens now? And what I feel is that after many years and after the many recent economic turmoil in this small island country, there is a strong government. There is a strong president who is also very youngish as compared to, let us say, many other countries where very, very senior leaders are getting elected. And in the geopolitical sense, if we take it from the view of India, which is the immediate neighbor of Sri Lanka in the north, and China, which has been investing heavily in Sri Lanka, this election is very important. And I have a feeling that the new government, the new president, and the parliament, it will be the biggest challenge to create a balance, a political, economic, and social balance between the north neighbor, India, and China, the biggest investors. So, there are some people who believe that Sri Lanka will now be stable for some time. And still, one has to wait and see how this stability goes. And this stability will depend on how the NPP president and its two-thirds majority now in the Sri Lankan parliament will deal with the economic situation. As all of us know, the past happenings, there is no point in repeating them. For the first time, a political party has won 61.56% of the votes. That is, the NPP won 61.56% of the votes, and the nearest to it is the SJP, 17.66% votes it got, around 40 seats. And the NPP got two-thirds of the seats. And the Rajapaksa clan almost wiped out by the people of Sri Lanka. So, for the first time, another very important thing which I feel should be noted is that during these elections, and now the stats of the elections, as I have read in different Sri Lankan newspapers, indicate that the NPP has been successful to unite Sri Lanka. What does it mean? It actually means There are three main communities in Sri Lanka: the Sinhala community, which is in the overwhelming majority, the minority Tamil community, and the Muslim community in the south, have all for the first time voted for one political party, that is the NPP. I am not saying that all the Tamil people or the Tamil voters have voted for NPP. They also are very successful, the ethnic Tamil party. But this is a positive thing for Sri Lanka, that, and I would rather say a positive for the unity and integrity of Sri Lanka, that people of different communities have voted for the same political party. Yes, there is political fragmentation in Sri Lanka, but they voting for NPP, a left-wing progressive party, is in itself historical. And the main thing which the government now faces is the Anura NPP government in Colombo now faces is that, and this they will face the IMF and the World Bank, on which it is dependent for loans and has taken big loans, and their interest is being paid. It is being paid by the Sri Lankan taxpayer. And the question is, where will this money come from otherwise? Who else is going to give it? And so a strong government in Sri Lanka and a movement in the world to see a stable government in Sri Lanka will help in this issue and help the new NPP government to negotiate with the lenders, especially the IMF and the World Bank, to ease the situation. The previous governments had done a lot of austerity measures, putting the burden on the common people, on the working class, on the working people, on the marginalized people. But we have to see all this in the context of one thing, that Sri Lanka is a small country. It is a very literate country. People are very able and hardworking. And hence, the NPP government has to negotiate with the lenders to give relief to the people. Because in economics, as I understand, people, if they have pocket in their money, they will spend it. And that will boost the economy. And how will they get money in their pockets? If they get the proper wages. And Sri Lanka's economy depends on exports of like tea and coffee, etc. And to some extent tourism, which I understand and I have heard through some publicity material that the current new NPP government is trying to boost tourism. And there are many companies which are not making any profit. So all these things have to be tackled by the new government. One has to wait and see how they are able to do it. The success of this government will depend on how it is able to cruise through the tough economic situation. People have a wrong belief that most of the loans which Sri Lanka has taken are from China and India. This is not correct. China is the biggest lender, yes. But most of the 50%, around 50%, as I hear, the loans taken by the Sri Lanka are from commercial banks. And the rest from all others, including the different countries, including India and China. So one has to deal with this situation. And currently, there is no such insurgency in Sri Lanka. Gone are the old days. And this is also a positive sign that which is evolving now. That Sri Lanka, with a stable government, with a left-wing, progressive, pro-working people government, has to perform to succeed. Because why? Why is it so? Because so many people in Sri Lanka, overwhelming Sri Lanka, has voted for them. Thank you for listening to me. And this is Neeraj Nanda from Melbourne, Australia. Have a good day.